What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Big Fry, and today I want to talk to you guys about Ground Branch. We just got a new update for the game, version 1031. There is a lot of information to talk about here in this update. If you guys don't know what Ground Branch is, I'm going to have a link to a playlist on this channel for all of my Ground Branch videos, and I think now's the time to start really going in on games like this, bringing more content, more gameplays, and more updates for everything that these guys are working on. Ground Branch, for those who just don't know, it's an old school tactical shooter. It's being made by one of the original developers behind Rainbow Six and Ghost Recon, and we've talked about it a lot on the channel. I've streamed it quite a bit over on Twitch. The game has been in development for a long time, like a decade at this point. It's still sitting in early access. It's in an alpha state at this point, but in the last, I would say, 6 months or so, the development team has grown. They're bringing on more people. Mike, the animator from Killing Floor and Rising Storm 2, he's now working with them. The game is now starting on a pace of, like, I would say, like, actual real development, and that's because of people who support the game, like you guys. The new updates bring in like a plethora of user interface changes, so you guys can see the new UI for like the lone wolf mode, which used to be like their play offline mode, but now obviously you're a lone wolf, so you're playing offline. There is a brand new settings menu, which received a huge UI pass, which I think, like, it's starting to look like a cohesive game that you would see coming out like nowadays, which is something that this game has desperately needed. They've been adding new attachments and also working with the controls for those attachments to make it more streamlined. So like your weapon lights now bind to your preferred key, which is defaulted on your 5. There's a new IR illuminator. They've also added a quality of life improvement to the lasers and the lights. So now they have like the momentary push button and the toggle push button, which is fucking fantastic. And they've also changed the variable magnification scopes. Now they all default to the lowest magnification level. I fucking hate you come around the corner, you don't realize a guy's like right there and you're zoomed in and you can like see how many fucking threads are in the patch on his shoulder because you're zoomed in on an 8x. And they've added more quality of life improvements to the doors so that it's kind of a more like open and close smooth animation, which is great. You have that partial open and close. You basically like hold F and you can use like your mouse wheel to open and close doors. But the biggest features that we need to talk about here are the new game modes. So we have one called Intel Retrieval. It's a PvE mode, which is actually the first PvE objective-based game mode in Ground Branch, which excites me greatly because that's one thing I really want for Insurgency Sandstorm is more objective-based cooperative modes like this. So the player selects one of the available insertion points on the ops board map. You basically have to hunt and try to find these laptops and then grab it. You do an intel search, find the laptop, backpack, or whatever it is, and then you go and you try to get it to the extraction point. And then adding on to that, they have a mode called Uplink, which is a PvP mode. It's basically the PvP version of the Intel Retrieval. Attackers must locate the laptop. There's a single one on the map and uplink valuable intel through it. The defenders will deploy near the laptop, and you got to prevent that from happening. Once we can get more people on the game during one of my live streams, I do want to check out both of these game modes and just start playing this game and getting into all of the new features that they have been adding in the past 6 months or so. I usually come back every now and again to look at the changes, but I really want to start keeping up to date with this because I have a feeling in my gut that Ground Branch is about to become a lot more popular. I think it's about to blow up. I think the updates that these guys are bringing with new animations, new skeletons, and all of these new features in terms of like attachments, gear, game modes, and all of this, I think it's ramping up quite a bit, which is exciting as hell to me because I've literally been like promoting and talking about this game for years as one of like the premier tactical shooters. And the fact that it's in early access, it's still janky, it's still buggy, but it's still sitting at very positive reviews, tells you that there's something here. And again, I'm starting to see the ramp up. I'm starting to see real progress being made, which is fantastic. In terms of like map and performance, they've added a ton of optimizations on all of the maps. There's 2 new maps that are coming with this update called Rundown. The other one is called The Farm, which you guys are seeing screenshots here. And they've also gone through and added more props and cover and basically cleaned up a lot of the other maps, including Tanker, City, and Power Station. There's new gear to be talking about here. They've added iPro glasses, extended mags for the MK25, the M9A3, and the M17 pistol. They've added proper night vision mounts and tweaked flip-up angles to be less less obstructive. They still say it needs work, but that's why we're in early access. And they've also added new models for the MP7 suppressor. They've replaced the MP7A1 with a higher quality model, which is awesome. There's no extra skins yet, but they say they're going to get there. Basically, if you're jumping in first right off the bat, you're not going to notice all of these subtle changes to like new models for suppressors and stuff like that. What you have to know is there is a decent amount of content here for the price that they are offering. And this is where it gets a little bit complicated for me. Because at the beginning of this update, they announced that the price is going up starting March 8th at 12 p.m. Eastern. Which means if you guys are seeing this video on day one and you haven't picked up Ground Branch, this is technically the last day that you are going to be able to buy the game at the current price, which is currently $22.79 Canadian, so it's $19.99 American. And honestly, with all of the progress that these guys have been making, I understand that there's a price increase coming, but now it's moving to $29.99, so they're going up $10. And the way that they justify it is that it's been in early access for over 2 years with no price change. Despite the relatively slow development and current lack of polish, we are offering fans of the hardcore tactical shooter genre something unique that no other game out there is offering. And I actually agree with all of that. The game's development has been snail's pace for years. And like I said, in the last, I would say probably the last year or so, but really in the last 6 months, it has ramped up significantly with a whole bunch more content, optimization. All of this stuff is being added, cleaned up, and built up like a real development game, which is great. The game's been sitting at very positive for a long time, and this is how they're justifying it as well. They say the new price is going live again, Monday, March 8th. Now, here's the thing. For me, I'm still waiting for all of the new animations, all the new, you know, the character models, the skeletons, and all of that to be basically taken from that early access from 2014, 2015 style to an updated and good looking game with all new animations, so the game just feels less clunky and less janky. For the most part, when I recommend this, I always bring up those issues, but I always say that the game does offer something that no other games out there are doing right now. They are absolutely correct in that. Now, at $29.99, I feel that this development process needs to ramp up even more so. There needs to be significant changes moving forward. We need to see those animations happening. We need to see the new character rigs being built so that we can actually have a smooth experience while playing this game. Performance for me has never really been an issue with this game. Some people obviously on lower end builds are probably having issues, but at $29.99, there's an expectation. Blackfoot Studios has done a lot of amazing work on this game. At $29.99, I don't know if that jankiness and all the things that people are looking at for a $30 experience aren't MP7 suppressor models being changed. They're not a UI pass. They are the animations being smooth. The character rigs actually working so when you lean, your arms aren't going into themselves. Now we're looking at a decently priced high-end early access title, and at the current moment, I don't know if Ground Branch is there yet, which is a little bit scary. It's now more of a tough sell on top of already all the issues that we've been looking past this whole time. So what I'm gonna say on the price increase is at $29.99, I really hope these next few updates slap. We need the new animations. We need the new character skeletons, the character rigs, so that we're not breaking animations when we're leaning or doing anything else when we're interacting with the environment or whatever. It needs to start becoming a more polished product on the grand scope of if that makes sense. Like I said, people that are going to be looking at Ground Branch aren't going to be like, oh, nice, bro. $10 increase, dude. I wanted a new MP7 suppressor. No, no, no. They're not looking at shit like that. That's the stuff that people like me are looking at because we've been following the game for years. All in all, this is a great update. The price increase scares me. If you guys do want to pick it up right now, I strongly urge you to pick it up at this price tag of $20. If you guys want to shop at my Nexus store, you can do that and support the channel as well at this price. Once that price increase comes, I know there's going to be a lot more people that are sitting on the fence or are just going to skip it entirely, and that's just really unfortunate. The link to my Nexus store is down below if you guys do want to pick it up. I strongly urge that you get in on it now. Know that there's still a lot of jank and that there's still a lot of things that need to be polished, cleaned up. But for a tactical shooter on PC, there aren't a lot of them. My Nexus store showcases almost every single one of them that you guys should be playing if you own PC, and Ground Branch is at the top of that list. My name is Big Fry. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy the videos. If you do, leave a like on the video. Consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. And I'll see you on the next one.